on the deck.
High five.
Yep, Gary.
Lions
Oh, we got to
fan.
redo that. That was not, yeah. There we go. We got to get the slap. So, yeah, we're both
the
Lions
Honolulu
fans.
Blue today. I like it.
I'm a native Texan, but my dad's from Michigan. So, you know, growing up, watched a lot of Lions games, watched a lot of Lions games that did not end well for the Lions. So,
Exactly. Well, I grew up in the Detroit area and have been a Lions fan all my life, but I had to wear a paper bag over my head for the last 65 years until last year.
Yeah.
So not quite that
So
long.
we're really hoping the Lions pull through tonight, make it to the Super Bowl.
Playing
That'd
the
be
Washington
really exciting.
Commanders, for those who don't know, first round of the playoffs for Detroit. The Commanders did win their wild card game last week, so now they're playing. They got great talent on their team. We got a little poetry about that. We would like to call the weather could be verse. So here you go. The Lions play Jaden Daniels tonight, a quarterback nobody slanders. He's not considered commander-in-chief, but he is chief of the Commanders. Yeah, so there you go. Very appropriate, I'd say, for Washington, D.C. on this inauguration weekend. The inauguration takes place on Monday, and they're not swearing in Jaden Daniels, I guarantee you that. The Lions will try to usher him out of the playoffs later on tonight. That game starts, I think, at 8 o'clock tonight, so should be a big one for all you Lions fans out there. Hey, go Lions. I'll be wearing my Jahmyr Gibbs jersey. I never thought I would do that when he was with Alabama, but hey, I'm a big fan, right? So I got to wear it. Take a look at downtown South Bend. You can see the perma cloud in the background that sticks around until about May. 35 degrees right now in South Bend. Now that's compared with just after midnight when it was 40 degrees. And when we came on the air this morning, it was 39 degrees. So we're dropping now and have dropped about 4 or 5 degrees in the last several hours. And those temperatures will continue to drop as this very, very strong cold front comes through, bringing Arctic air down straight off the pole over the next 3 or 4 days. Take a look at downtown Elkhart this morning. You may notice a little bit of a gleam on the roadways. We did have a little bit of precipitation last night, officially just a trace of rainfall in the overnight hours here in our gauge. But now look, Elkhart has dropped down to 33, so we're very close to that freezing point, and that means that any of the standing water that's out there will begin to want to freeze. Not so much on the main roads where they've had salt and chemicals, and those do work at these temperatures, but on the side streets and subdivision, I guarantee you, my subdivision, which never gets salted and rarely gets plowed, we will be sliding all over the place there. So do be careful on the side streets and the county roads out there where they haven't been as heavily treated. St. Joseph, Michigan this morning, you can see just a glimmer of sunlight on the distant horizon, but all of these clouds being created as that very cold air works across the relatively warm body of Lake Michigan. Water temperatures are around 33, 34 degrees. Right now it's 36 on shore here at St. Joe, but this cold air coming across is going to be well below zero over the next several days, and so you will see not only those lake effect clouds and lake effect system snows, but you'll also start to see more ice forming along the near shore. Don't ever go out on the ice on Lake Michigan because it's very dangerous with all that wave action and shifting out there. So as we take a look at our first alert radar, a live view, you can see the rain that has moved off to the east of us. It's mixing in now with a little bit of snow on the back end. As you head down toward Indianapolis and Marion and places like that, they might be seeing a few snowflakes. For us, though, as we zoom in, you can see it's just mostly cloudy. And again, we have these north-northwest winds coming down across the lake. The conditions are not yet right for lake effect snow, but it will be as we head through the remainder of the afternoon, and especially as we get into the day tomorrow. As is typical of lake effect snow, it won't be snowing everywhere, but where those bands come down, you can see several inches of snow from now through Monday. Take a look at the wide view, and you see the eastern half of the country very much impacted. Atlanta right now getting rain, and fairly heavily so. That's where Notre Dame is preparing for the big game against Ohio State on Monday. This very cold air coming down out of the plains will eventually make its way all the way down to Atlanta. So by Monday, they expect to see sub-freezing temperatures. And you know that if the temperature in Atlanta is below freezing, we're going to be really cold because we're going to be that much colder than they are. Take a look at our first alert weather day graphic here. So today through Wednesday morning, officially today is a first alert weather day because the transition is already underway and those frigid cold temperatures will last all the way through Wednesday morning. The alert is for frigid air, and these wind chills, especially as we get into Monday and Tuesday, will be well below zero. We're talking 20 to 25 below zero. Today, the first alert is really more about the traffic conditions as that ice begins to get created on those wet streets later on in the afternoon and evening hours. But when those really cold temperatures are around Monday morning, Tuesday morning, you could have frostbite problems within 30 minutes or less, maybe even as little as 10 to 15 minutes if we're talking 20-25 below zero. This is what I meant by the road conditions today. We start out with just wet because we had rain, temperature above freezing, but by lunchtime we'll be below freezing, and so those roads will start to get slick as we head into the later afternoon, even colder, and so those slippery conditions continue and into the evening as we get closer and closer to 20 degrees and eventually down into the teens overnight tonight. Future track wind chills are just unbelievable. I mean, today, not so bad. This is 21 above zero, so today is not too bad. But by the time you get up tomorrow morning, around 8 or 9 o'clock Sunday morning, you see wind chills will be right around zero. We're going to fast forward here into Monday morning as you get kids ready for school. 8 o'clock Monday morning, 25 below zero in places like Plymouth and 24 below expected in Rochester and Warsaw. And then as we go one day further, you can see how long this sticks around. Tuesday, 7 o'clock in the morning, we're still talking about 20 to 25 below zero in some places. Notice that it's not quite as cold, even though this is very cold, where you're in those areas downwind of the lake and you start to get some cloud cover. That tends to act as a little bit of insulation there. We'll also get some lake effect snow. I mentioned that those bands will start to get set up. Not so much today, but as we get into tomorrow, you'll start to see these bands of lake effect snow setting up, especially in Berrien County, Michigan, and parts north. So from St. Joseph to South Haven to Holland, you might see 7 or 8 inches of snow. Closer to the state line in South Bend and Cassopolis, probably around 4, maybe less than that, a couple inches as you head farther south of the state line. But do be prepared for slick streets. You can see those bands on Future Track getting set up a little bit today, just some light lake effect, but then they start to get going in earnest as we get into tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon. And again, it won't be snowing everywhere, but where it does come down, you could see some fairly heavy amounts of lake effect snow. And you can see how far inland those bands go too. Look at that one, goes all the way down through Toledo and Columbus and all the way down into Kentucky. So yeah, they can get lake effect snow down there. As for us, we'll just see that familiar signature of lake effect over the next couple of days and these brutally cold temperatures well below zero over the next couple of days as far as the wind chills. Today though, we're going to say a high of 26, but really, you know, our high was after midnight. That's kind of the daytime you can expect to be in the mid-20s by this afternoon. A high of only 14 tomorrow. Down below zero Monday night and Tuesday night, and that's the raw temperature. That's not the wind chill. So the wind chills will be 20, 25 below zero on those couple of days. And even if you're from Cadillac, Michigan, you're saying to yourself, that's pretty cold.
Yeah, exactly.